are you today?
I'm okay.
That's good. I'm glad you're doing all right. So, you've been out of jail for about a month now. How are you adjusting to normal life?
It's been hard. I have to get a job because of my probation, but how am I supposed to get a job when the world's against me?
Why do you think the world is against you?
Because I'm a worthless person. No one wants to hire an ex-con.
Being arrested doesn't make you a worthless person. You still have some great qualities.
Like what?
You're honest, punctual, family-oriented, and persistent.
How am I persistent? What does that word even mean?
For example, when you stole that Camaro, the locked doors didn't stop you. You worked through the problem at hand, and you broke into that car. And when you didn't find the keys inside, did that stop you? No. You persisted and hotwired that car. Even though that's not a good behavior, it's a good characteristic to have.
I guess you're right. I am pretty persistent, especially if it's something I want to care about.
What's something you care about that you would use persistence with?
Supporting my family.
What are some steps you would have to take in order to ensure that your family is supported?
Well, I would have to get a job in order to make money and fulfill my parole so I can stay out of jail.
Those are great goals to have and to work toward. Have you thought about going back to school?
Not really. I'm stupid and all the teachers hate me and want me to fail.
How do you know that all of the teachers hate you? Can you give me an example of a specific situation where you experienced a feeling of hate from your teachers?
Well, I had this test in math one time and it was really hard. Except everyone passed but me. And I went in to get extra credit and she wouldn't give me any. So she must have wanted me to fail.
This may apply to that specific situation. However, I'm sure that a majority of your teachers want you to succeed and graduate. You just have to have an open mind when reaching out to them.
Yeah, but that wouldn't help because I'm still stupid and I can't do anything right.
I don't think you're stupid. Maybe you just weren't applying yourself as much in the past, and your priorities might have been different back then.
Yeah, I didn't have time to care about school because my mom forced me to take care of my little brother because she was never around.
Do you think you could be blaming your mom for your lack of success in school?
I mean, maybe, but I still don't have time to do my homework.
Well, this time around, I'm sure you won't let anything get in your way, and you'll be more focused and will be able to get your GED.
I'll give it a shot.
Great. So now we're going to do a thinking exercise to help you see how your belief sets change your responses in different situations.
Okay.
So here's the situation. You're at the mall, sitting down in the food court, and you see a guy that has been staring at you for quite some time. What's the first thought that crosses your mind?
I'm gonna mess him up. No one gets to stare at me for free.
Okay. The consequence of that would be that you could possibly get arrested for assault, or you could get hospitalized. What do you think would be a better response to that situation?
I don't know. I feel like that's a pretty good response.
But that response could get you back into jail, and that's not what you want, is it?
No, you're right.
So with that in mind, what would be a good response that would keep you out of jail?
I don't know. Maybe ignore him. Maybe he wasn't actually looking at me. Maybe I reminded him of someone. Like J-Lo.
Yes, those are all great responses. The result would be that you don't get arrested because you changed your belief about that situation. Let's try another one. You are on your way to the hospital because your little brother broke several bones during a football game. However, you don't have the transportation and have to walk the entire way. All of a sudden, you see a car with the keys inside. What is the first thought that crosses your mind?
Borrowing is okay if it's an emergency.
So, with that belief, you would steal the car?
Yes, I would definitely steal the car.
Okay. What consequence do you think that might elicit?
I don't think there would be any. I mean, I would get to see my brother in the hospital, and as long as I return the car, there's no harm.
I can see where you're coming from, but do you think the police might have a different sort of view?
Huh? What do you mean?
Well, borrowing a car would probably get you sent back to jail again for grand theft auto. And since that would be your second offense, you would probably spend more time in jail.
Yeah, you're right.
So, what might be a better option than stealing the car?
I don't know. Maybe ask someone for a ride, call an Uber.
Yeah, those are both great options, and neither of those choices would land you in jail. Throughout your therapy experience, we will work more on how you would react to different situations in order to help you see how your thoughts influence your behaviors. You're making really good progress in our sessions. Your homework for this week, I want you to think of a past experience where you may have acted a bit irrationally. Once you have the experience in mind and how you thought and acted previously, I want you to think about how you could have changed your thoughts in order to change the behavior and the consequences. Have a great week, and I'll see you in our next session.
Okay, bye.
Hi Lucy, how are you today?
I'm alright, but I've just been really stressed lately.
What's been going on in your life that has made it a bit more stressful?
Well, I just feel like I'm everywhere all the time. My 5 kids are involved in absolutely everything, and I just can't keep up.
Can you give me an example of why you haven't been able to keep up?
Well, the other day I was cleaning the house because we were getting ready for a dinner party that night, and I completely lost track of time. You know how it goes. I was supposed to pick up Jeffrey from soccer practice and then pick up Jensen from piano lessons, but I totally spaced. I'm such a bad mom. I was a whole 5 minutes late, and I know I ruined their whole afternoon because they wanted to go and play video games with their friends. And I was late. I'm such a bad mom.
Okay, Lucy, it's alright. Let's take a moment to calm down. In all reality, you were only 5 minutes late. That's not a long time. I'm sure your boys didn't even notice that you were late.
I don't know. I mean, Jeffrey was finishing up the last couple minutes of practice, and Jensen was talking to his teacher about the upcoming recital. You're right, they probably didn't even know.
Even if they did notice, you were only a few minutes late, and that doesn't make you a bad mom. What about all those times that you were early to pick them up? Don't those count? Those add to your good mom status.
Okay, true. Being late one time doesn't automatically make me a bad mom. It just makes me human. I'm late sometimes.
True. So how's your job going?
Well, not so good. The other nurses and I had a meeting with the boss the other day, and I think I'm gonna get fired.
Wow. Why do you think you're getting fired?
Well, my boss told us that somebody has been getting a lot of complaints. He specifically said, "You know who you are, step it up." I know he's talking about me. All the patients hate me and think I'm terrible at my job.
Are you sure he's talking about you? How many other people were at this meeting?
There's only 42 of us.
And do you think he was talking to you out of 42 people?
Yes, I know I'm getting fired
What leads you to believe this?
because he said, "You know who you are, so I know it's me."
Well, have you been nice and helpful to all of your patients? Have they indicated to you at all that they aren't happy with your work?
I mean, I'm always trying to be cheery and attentive at work with my patients and get them the care they need right away. They always seem to like me when I'm working with them and seem to be happy to see me.
Then why do you think your boss is talking about you?
I don't know. I guess he could have been talking about someone else. In fact, I've seen Susan struggle with relating to her patients and getting to work on time. So he was probably talking about her.
You're probably right. With that many people, he could have been talking about anyone, but it sounds like he definitely wasn't talking about you. You're good at your job, so to keep doing what you're doing.
Thanks, you're right. I'm just overwhelmed and being too hard on myself.
Exactly. I think writing down your thoughts on a thought record might help you out. So there's like directions and stuff that you just need to follow. So every time you think that you're a bad mom for messing up one little thing, or when you feel a bit overwhelmed, write it down and how you're feeling in that moment.
Okay, I should be able to handle that.
Great. See you next week. Hi Lucy, how are you today?
Well, not so good. My marriage is being ripped apart.
Wow, that's a strong word. Why do you feel this way?
He's cheating on me.
When did you start feeling this was an issue? Did you write it down in your thought record?
About 6 days ago. It was a Tuesday. I was home taking care of the house. I heard his phone ring because he forgot it when he went to work. I went over to answer it, and the caller was a girl named Lisa. I froze. She called back several times. He's getting calls from a mysterious woman. I know he's cheating on me.
That seems a bit extreme to jump to that conclusion from just a few phone calls. What other evidence do you have to support your claim?
It's not extreme. It's the truth. He came home from work late a few times this week, and he smelled like perfume.
Okay, let's break this down and try to analyze it from different angles. Do you think you can try that with me?
Sure. I can try.
Have you asked him who Lisa is?
No. I don't want him to know that he's cheating on me.
Do you think she could possibly be a coworker? Or maybe a childhood friend?
I mean, maybe. But what person whose name is Lisa isn't a homewrecker?
Okay, let's try to stay calm. How old do you think Lisa is?
Well, I stalked every Lisa that he's friends with on Facebook, and I've come to the conclusion that she's 45 and she works for the same company as him.
Maybe the reason she called was because they're collaborating on a project together.
Yeah, that could be right. I listened to the voicemail she left, and she said something about going over their presentation for the meeting, but I thought they were talking in code.
It seems to me that they're just coworkers working on a project together.
But that still doesn't explain the perfume.
Well, when's your birthday?
Next week.
Maybe he's getting you perfume for your birthday and was just testing out different kinds that he thought you might like.
That would make sense. He buys me perfume every year for my birthday.
Maybe try talking to him and tell him how you're feeling. And if things still seem off and he's acting suspicious, invite him to come to our session next week so that we can work through these things and you can take the stress out of your marriage.
That sounds good. Thank you so much.